the air quality.
Or is it more a factor of all the river basins that we live in? I just wonder how much impact it would have on that feature of Roseburg.
So I used to live in Missoula, Montana. We got inversions that would make yours look like you're not even trying. But we had to change a lot of the things that were really impacting the quality of our air. I think over time you must stop the automobile dependency in order to have pure air. And start to reward the walking trip, the biking trip, the transit trip, especially in the months that you get the inversions, right? So it's, and Dan Buettner says it so well, there's no such thing as a silver bullet. But there is silver buckshot, and I think all the things you do in order to increase the quality of your air, it's going to also take you in the direction you want to go for health, for all the things. And I agree. Every climate or every microclimate is different, but the same principles apply. You need to stop polluting the air. The inversions aren't going to go away unless some other major factor occurs. But the point is, you know you get inversions. You know you want to breathe good air, and so you stop polluting, right? Yes.
Speaking of air quality, for some reason, somebody has deemed it necessary to cut down all the trees in town.
Stop doing that.
How can we stop it?
Well, you have to have the policies to protect trees. Now, some trees need to come out, especially urban street trees. They only have a certain life cycle. But plant the right trees, nurture them, and start removing pavement. And replace that pavement with green, with the things that are going to make your town much healthier. I just came from Hartford, Connecticut. They're in the top 10 for a green city, but they work at it. They work very hard at it. And it's just got to be something you do, is to understand the value of trees in your community. And some of the ideas I love, and I don't know if it's a blue zone policy yet or not, but start your own nursery as a city and grow the trees and then give them away, help people plant them, help them nurture the trees if they're going to be especially street trees, and get there. We need more model projects, but trees are so important. Yeah.
What are people saying about gentrification as we're improving places? Often what's happening is marginalized people are getting displaced, and then they're being replaced with people that can afford these new higher cost or higher rent spaces. So what's the solution to improving while keeping people that were there before?
And everybody heard the question, gentrification. So as we make changes that make our towns more livable, more walkable, and everything, those who have been living fine in those neighborhoods tend to get pushed out. Developers love to come in and build high-end housing. And as high-end housing comes in, other people do get pushed out. Atlanta is starting to work very hard on this. Charlotte's been working very hard on it. Minneapolis says the idea, and it's not an easy answer, but the idea is to require a good range of mix of home values and to permit accessory dwelling units as an example, so that by right you own a house, you can build an accessory dwelling unit so that people can live, maybe not in a big house like you might, but they get to live in that neighborhood and attend to those worship services and have that same great proximity and so on. So it's got to be a very deep act of love, the right policies, and a few stumbling mistakes, but in time, I think we're going to build some great neighborhoods where gentrification is a minor issue. Another town that did a beautiful job of that is Charlotte. In their downtown, they created a project as part of Hope 6 monies back when they existed. And they went into an all African American neighborhood, rebuilt the housing stock, but did everything they could to keep people in place. Now, not everybody wanted to stay because it was just a different place, but the point is, everyone had that opportunity to stay and now have better schools, better parks, and everything. So we've done so much harm in so many arenas. We're not going to solve these problems, but in the small towns, you can get the policies and the practice in place faster than a big city ever could. Here in Milton.
Dan, earlier today you mentioned what you personally were going to do to age in place. And I thought the design that you discussed with us kind of solves this other issue of folks moving into upper scale neighborhoods with accessory homes. Can you tell this group what your plan is?
Sure. So about 10 years ago, my wife and I decided we wanted to live in a small town, Fort Townsend, Washington. And we bought a house 1887. And my wife is a gardener. She didn't want to lose 1 square inch of land to gardening. So we lifted the house off the ground 15 feet, carved out the hillside, built a brand new foundation, and an apartment plus a guest unit, set the house back down, and so when I get older and I'm not earning, a living anymore, we'll be able to rent out the whole upper house and live in the apartment, plus have a guest unit.
We'll be there for you.
What's that address?
310 Willow. And by the way, we are a warm showers host. Anyone bicycling through or backpacking through, no cost. Come. Yes, sir.
So talking about individual action, as people sitting here tonight, all of us, when we leave this room after the presentation, what's the best single bang for our buck thing we can do to help bring about these changes?
I think the most important thing is to support your Built Environment Steering Committee. They've been working on this for a long while.
What committee?
Built Environment, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steering Committee. And they're very well networked. They're looking at all the best policies and practices to put in motion. But learn what they're doing, support them, and obviously go to your city council meetings whenever there's an important issue. And if anything's a little bold and creative, you especially need to be there, because there are a lot of people in your community that won't get enforced. And they'll come out of fear, and they'll kill a perfectly good project. So, yeah.
We're over in West Roseburg and try to walk to the Y, to Weimar, all that. But there's a lot of aggressive driving. Have you found speed bumps to be at all useful, or is that a waste of money?
Well, I wouldn't say a waste of money, but it's my last resort.
Really?
So there are many other great traffic calming solutions. And one of the best, trees. People drive differently under a canopy than they do when the street is stark and naked and scary. But there are other things we do. We put in curb extensions. We put in mini circles, like they're doing up in Seattle. They have 1,500 mini circles. They brought their speeds down. They brought the prices down 93%. So the tools are out there. Oh yes, I think one of the great points of success is for communities to have neighborhood associations and really work for every neighborhood to develop its own plan. They did that in both Portland and Seattle. So and I'll just use Seattle as an example because I know it better. whenever a pot of money is ready to distribute to the neighborhoods, all the city has to do is go to the neighborhood leadership group and say, are these still your top 3 items? And if they say yes, good, they're going to be built. Or no, we want to change one of them, right? So by having a strong structure in your neighborhoods, putting your neighborhoods through training forces or whatever it takes, you will now have the support to get bond measures passed and to be able to take actions that other cities will look back and say, holy cow, Roseburg took off like a rocket. What was it? It was the neighborhoods came together. They learned together. Yes, ma'am. How do we get the car culture to celebrate people walking or biking are really doing the right thing? No simple answer, but the more people who walk, the more people who bike, the more people see people walking and biking, the sooner the culture shifts. And that's just true. That you have to get that numbers up for those who are willing to walk. And maybe it's only neighborhood by neighborhood at first. But once people do start walking and biking in greater numbers, and they're seeing, then all drivers start to shift their behavior in one that is acceptable. And it's easier to do in a small town than it is in a big town. I don't know how we're going to shift all in. We're going to have to do it neighborhood by neighborhood. But you're small enough that you can make it happen, say, in one segment of your town, prove that it works, and then broaden that to another neighborhood and another neighborhood and so on. So, I believe it. I believe that you can do that. I really do.
You have a bike right. Get out there.
Yes. So the mental health aspect, that's another one of the ripple effects of us no longer having the friendship circles, the support teams that were just inherently built in. We need to get that back. We need to focus on family first. That's a Blue Zone principle. But start to rebuild our friendship circles. The amount of feeling part of the community. Being able to be there when someone needs support. It's just so key to a healthy community. Yeah.
We launch walking groups, so we do have walking lines that we just wrapped up a mom's mow line last 10 weeks. It was a mom's mow line, so just young moms that have little kids. But we encourage you to join a walking mow line, or we have all sorts of different walking groups throughout the city. It's a social group that gets together once a week for 10 weeks. And research shows that if you spend that time together for 10 weeks, you're most likely to form a social bond for the rest of your life with that group. So we have potluck mow-eyes, purpose mow-eyes, and walking mow-eyes. Yeah. Yeah. Follow us on Facebook.
All right, I want to get a group photo. Everybody, thumbs up.